Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a storefront. Looks like a store from in a Chinese marketplace, so you should stick around and you'll enjoy it. And this is our live stream. Come together every Monday afternoon and we try and draw a landscape or an urban environment. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a storefront, and we're going to use a lot of negative space. So let's get this rolling. I hope everyone's doing good today. Let's see here. What is happening? Let me just double check that. All right. Get that going. Turn that on. And all right, now we're ready to go to town. Okay. I hope everyone's having a great Monday afternoon. Let's go ahead and jump into this. So we're in some type of, I think that's a store or apartment. I don't speak Chinese, but there is a little Chinese writing on this. You know what? It may not even be Chinese. I don't know what their writing is, so my apologies if I got it all wrong. But nonetheless, this is a great. This will make a great example of a picture that we could use negative space and shapes to really help us get our proportion down. So let's have at it. I am drawing on using an Apple iPencil and Procreate, and here I've got my little coffee cup ready to go. Cheers to you, and let's go ahead and get started. So first thing I do whenever I draw any picture, I go through the similar process, and I recommend that you also start to get in the habit of going through the same mental process. You know, you take a look at a picture, you kind of think of your way of attacking it or getting the shapes right. I usually start off with a kind of a gesture idea. I also determine how long I'm going to spend drawing the picture, because that will also determine of what level of detail you're going to go into. I usually try and spend about an hour here with you all. And so on your pictures, if you make them super big, you're never going to finish it within the hour. So I say keep it down to, of course, like a 5x7 or 6x9. That's about the size that we're looking at, okay? Why don't you start off here just with a square, a rectangle. Keep this light. This will give you some framework to draw within. Okay. And if you have any comments or questions, just put up in the comment section. I'll do this. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, by all means, please subscribe and hit that bell. That way you'll be alerted every time we go live. And you know, one of the best ways to get better at drawing is to practice a little bit every day. And you can count on me, a dad who draws, to be here every Monday and Wednesday afternoons. Okay, so we have this this framework here. Now, one of the things of measurement that I use in order to get the proportion of my drawing is I like to think of negative space. Okay, sometimes I will try and draw the negative space, and the result is I'll get the right image. So let's start with this idea, and let me show you what I'm looking at first, okay? Look at this triangle up here. You see, this is some good negative space. All right, so let's start off with trying to draw that triangle, but do it very lightly, okay? So I'm just going to try and match that. I'm going to keep it light. And then look at this great negative space. It's like it's a thin rectangle up on top. So let's get that in place as well here, okay? All right, if we come down on the side, look at the side of this. Look at that, we're gonna just come straight down here. I bet you I don't even have to, I don't have to point this out there. You can see it. And then it comes in like this. And then we're gonna come down here to the bottom. Maybe a little bit higher here. And then we've got that bottom wall. We'll come back and hit that bike here in just a little bit. All I'm doing right now is just trying to get some overall shapes, okay? Look, you can see this. If I put this in place, you can see there's this chunky wall right down here. It's like a big square, right? This is part of the gesture drawing. This is the first pass that we're doing. All right, look at this. And now let's look at this roof. Has a little bit of a tilt to it. Just keep it light. Look at those. Look at these 4 windows here. Okay, so these 2 windows here. Let me show you what I'm looking at, so we can all be on the same page. I'm kind of looking at this, this simple square shape. It's right about there. Okay, so let's lightly put that in as well. Now, one thing when I do put it in, you might want to be aware of is you might want to check. I talk about negative space. The other thing you could do is check vertical and horizontal alignments. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, this is, let me make that brighter for you here. So that's the edge of the window, and if I drop a straight line down here, I could see it's just on the outside of that square brick. You see that square wall, this wall right here. You see this? And on the inside, this is coming in right about there. You see? I could align that up. So let me check my own drawing here. I'm gonna fix this because it was on the wrong layer. So let's see here. This is going to line up maybe about there, right? And it's going to extend a little bit beyond that, okay? And I'm kind of putting that in space there. Okay? Just trying to get an overall view of this thing, okay? Big shapes is all we're looking for right now. Let's get this, look at this door opening here. It's like this right here. You see this? Okay, let's try and get that in. Let's get that in as well. So let's see, that's going to be below that, all right? Below that a little bit more like this. A little bit higher here. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Okay, look right above it now. This is interesting. It has this like has this torn, it's like a triangle. You see that? And it comes up nice and high. It's this torn screen here. So we can put that shape in. We'll come back and work the detail on that. And then there's another window frame much higher. Probably is where, oh, it looks like this window frame was 3. Like that, and it comes down here like this. All right. Give you a minute to get caught up here. Again, I'm in that gesture phase right now. Look at we got our Christmas tree up. All right, so then look at the roof, and there's like that opening. So I'm just gonna, where's this now? Look at this is interesting to me. So let me point this out to you, because this is what I would do. I would be looking at, let me make that brighter for you. I would be looking at that edge right there and saying, oh, where does that edge line up with? And then I'd look at this edge and go, oh, where does that line up with? Okay, so I could use those vertical alignments. So let's see, that's gonna come, that opening is gonna be about there on one side and there on the other, because it's lining up like that, you see? All right, so we're just gonna do that for right now. Tiles on the left of it, coming in like this. And if I go too fast, please just ask me to slow down. I'm more than happy to do that. Look at this over here. See this? See this? Board here. Let's put that in as well, okay? Let's see. So we're going to be right about there, maybe. I'm going to erase this little guide over here. There you go. Okay. Bottom of the door. Look at that. Bottom of the door has this opening here. This slab looks like. And let's go ahead and kind of figure out where this bike's going to go. All right. So the edge of the wheel, the back wheel, is there, and the other edge is going to be almost toward the middle. You see that? And it's as far as height goes there, and there's the bottom. So that's about the, now let's just kind of try and use our elbow and get that nice round circle there. Okay. Let's figure out where the front of it too is. So that's the back end there, and look at that, comes all the way over here, down there. So it's about right like that. So let's trying to use your elbow and not your wrist. Basket is there. There's the, it probably needs to be a little bit higher, but I'm just going to go with that, I think. Okay, last thing I want to do, I think, is put in this hanging shirt. But all I'm going to do is just draw. All I'm going to do is just draw the outline of it. So watch what I do here. I'm just coming in here. Really, it's this shape right here. Okay, we'll come back in and add more detail a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all those lines there so we could see our picture for what it is. Okay, I do see a piece of plywood that's coming around here, coming down. All right. Okay, I'm gonna draw just the outline of that apartment building in the back. We'll come back and address it later. And there's some interesting buildings that have some just interesting silhouette shapes. And we'll come back and address those later as well. All right, there's a couple extra details here below this double pane window. So let's just kind of put those in place. And you know, it's like solving a puzzle. You're just trying to get different pieces in. So there's that white board in front, and there's a lot of room of not drawing things perfectly in this picture. So you can get away with a lot if you don't get it quite right, and that's totally okay. Okay, let's start working in. Let's start with this. Let's start with the roof at top and just kind of slowly make our way down to the bottom. Okay, so up on top here, I'm going to start in with this the shape of the shadow here. So it looks like it comes around here like this, and then I'm going to carefully fill it in with an even tone. A lot of times I talk about drawing in volume, but in this example, because we're looking straight at essentially this is a flat wall, this is a flat surface. You know, I'm looking more towards shape as I'm going to draw this. That's generally speaking. Okay. All right, let's come around here. I'm going to start at the left-hand side now. And when I draw, I always draw with this idea of pushing down and pulling up. Pushing down, pulling up. It makes my lines to have a nice taper, which I think brings a lot of expression to them, as opposed to just having a solid line with no tapering. So I just kind of go in for a nose dive, dive bomb, boom, push, and then pull up, okay? So I'm just gonna come across here now, following the shape, and just working on some detail only in this roof area. So I'm going to be quiet here, and let's just kind of draw for the next 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, just trying to fill in the different shapes we see in just this roof area, okay? Try not to feel rushed. I'm using a lot of surface lines here. Using various amount of pressure, drawing lines that I'm pushing down on, other ones I'm lightly doesn't have to look like mine. You're gonna see it slightly different than I am, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of drawing, and everyone's coming at it with a different perspective. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes, then we're going to move on, okay? Okay, you got 30 more seconds. All right, let's keep going now. Let's move down here. I'm going to kind of draw from my left and head off to my right. So let's take a look at this. This has this window here. We're going to come back and drop this shadow in after. So let's just keep working our way down. And this looks like this has a screen here. Look at this. This is interesting. It kind of has this little bit of a wrap there. You see that? And then it's going to have a slight curve here. Something like that. I'm going to add some surface lines there. Has some bricks on the side there. I can see those. All right. I'm going to continue. We're just slowly working across because it can get confusing. So just into our double pane window here. Okay, look at that wood right below it. Yep, it is, but it is hard because it is flat. We're really just adding decorations. That's a good comment, John. But we'll add there should be some variation in tone that will help separate it a little bit, but true. Okay, getting over to the right side here now, we have this, look at, there's like an object it looks like. I don't know what this is, but it's a kind of hanging down. You see that? Just go slowly. We're going to come back and put the wires in near the end, okay? So we've got that yellow area, right? With that writing. So let's see if we can put some of that in here. Okay, I got my writing down. Gonna give a nice sharp outline on the right hand side there. I'll slow down, give you a minute or so to get caught up. Yeah, when we drop these dark shadows in, it's going to help quite a bit. Okay, I'll give you 45 seconds here. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to continue this area right below this window here. So looks like we have like a stick of wood in the middle there, right? Looks like they have a bit of a hanging plant here. So let's put a little something in there like that, right? Now, they have this pair of shoes. You see that pair of shoes there? So let's start off, just put the soles down. And then just kind of putting in that negative shape, the opening there. And just be careful when you put it in. Get a nice, make sure it's not symmetrical. You want something that's asymmetrical. All right, let's get these. I don't know what these are. There might be like walking sticks or something, but we'll just kind of put them in random because they're. And then he's got this big stick here. Look at this. And then this other one looks like it's coming in like that. And then behind all these sticks, do you notice there's this piece of fabric? So let's just, I'm just going to come in here like this and add just a little bit of tone. All of this stuff just adds interesting detail. There's a square here. Look at that. Another one over here. You know, sometimes if you're drawing, this is the way that I like to think of it. It's as if you are a drone or you are a airplane. You're looking down at a landscape and you could see the big picture of it, and then you get a little bit lower, and then you get a little bit lower, and you get a little bit lower, and the lower you get, more and more detail comes out of those larger areas that you saw from a great distance. So that is essentially where I approach. I try and get the big picture, and then we start to get into smaller areas and smaller areas. Okay, let's get this wall in here, and you can see it. And draw this part lightly. This is just a little bit of detail here. This is that white area there. You see that? Looks like there's a hole down here of some sort. And of course this looks like they have some food at the bottom down here. You see that? Let's go ahead and get this bike in here now. All right, so I think first thing I'm going to do is, as I look at the bike, I'm going to ask myself, what is in front of what? So like this this gear shaft goes right to the center. You see that? Because I don't want to draw my wheel on top of that. And then there's the center of the front one. Kind of comes back and up, right? Add a little tone to my seat there. And I'm just kind of slowly making my way around the bike, okay? Just draw it loosely. Don't feel the need to use a ruler at all. Now look at that. Look at that seat closely. Look at the reflections on the seat. So I'm just going to go in and darken up where the dark area is and leave the reflections there. That's not perfect, but that will work. All right, now that I got most of the mechanics in, I can kind of go in and piece this wheel together. I'm doing it all freehand, and then I'm leaving gaps in the wheel to where some of the frame of the bike is coming up front. Okay. Looking closely to see where the handlebars work there, right? I love this basket, so let's get this slowly. Look at that basket. Get the shape of that basket in. And you don't have to get every spoke, just enough to suggest that they're there. Give you a minute here. Give you a minute here to get caught up. Okay, let's jump in this. Let's look to that door. This opening door with a hanging shirt in it, okay? So let's get the angle of that door first. So it's kind of come in like this and just draw it lightly, all right? Draw it lightly. It has a board at the bottom there, and then this board changes direction a little bit. Then you've got junk all piled up back here. So let's just put some shapes here. Odd shapes, okay? Get those odd shapes down. It could be anything. You could see that I've just kind of put them in, right? Okay. Let's start adding value now to it, because I think the value is really going to help pop. And let's start with the most contrasty, or the part that I like a lot is this. Believe it or not, I like where this hanger of this shirt is holding this shirt up in the doorway. So, but typically what you would want to do is probably go with black, and then either take a white marker, or not a white, some type of bright pigment, and draw on top of it. But this is what I'm going to suggest. Similar to if I was going to watercolor this, I would leave the white. So I'm going to add black around this hanger. So let's, I know that sounds weird, but just, I think it will have a better look, at least for me. So I'm going to start off just with a round dot, just like that. Then really close, I'm just going to come up around that dot like this. Then I'm going to get my line going straight up there. And now with that, now I'm going to come in and add some dark value around this. And just kind of carefully go around my outline there. Okay, I'm going to get the other side as well. Being aware of some of the shapes that are popping in there. Okay. Coming down the left side, I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I'm going to go darker next to this shirt shape, and then go a little bit lighter. You see what I mean? Come down a little further, go darker right where it comes in contact with that shirt shape, and then lighter. Same thing the other side. I'm just going to come in and add some darker value here. Okay. See, this adds some really awesome looking contrast. Now, right now, I don't want, I want my shirt to stand alone in this space. So I'm going to, in a very light overall tone, I'm just going to tone all this junk back a little bit. I'm going to add an overall tone to it. Gonna add some more tone to it. I want to push it back a little bit further. Now I'm gonna, just certain areas, I'm gonna add some darker values. We don't have to know what's in what that stuff is back there. We just want to capture the feel that that doorway is filled up with some important things. Yes. Yeah, we're going to get to that. So true, Chris, that dark, yeah, when we drop in that shadow, the top is going to really make this thing sing. Okay, this shirt now. I'm just going to put a light tone from one side to the other. I usually don't use gradations, but I am in this case. And now I could go in here and just add just some lines to kind of indicate lightly that where the sleeves might go. Still retaining this great negative shape. I've said this many times, but someone once pointed out, they said, Kurt, you draw like you're watercoloring something. And you know, the weird thing is until they said that, I never realized that's exactly how I draw. I think it comes from years of not, I draw pretty fast, and so I don't like I don't like falling in the trap of having to erase and draw over, having to erase and draw over. So I'll try and put my mark down and then just keep going. How many values am I using? I'm trying to keep it simple. So a good question, Chris. In most of my drawings, I try and stick with a 3-value formula. Okay, so there's one. All right, so I'm going to hit all of these with the same value. Okay, there's one value. Hit the next two again with the same weight of my pencil. That would be 2, and then the third one would be a 3. So I try and shoot for like a 3 value. Okay, moving up. Let's keep moving up here on top. And let's start adding some value to this, like this first tone of value to some of these areas here. Okay, I'll give you a second here, get caught up. Even this, look at this, you could throw like in this area, in this wall here, where there's a lot of white, you can throw a tone. All right, let's get this man. Let's get this shadow in. I'm dying to get this shadow in of the roof. Okay, so let's do this. Don't draw it lightly at first. Let's draw the outline of it. Okay, draw it lightly because we're going to come in and darken it up. I don't want this to happen. Let me show you. I don't want you to draw a shadow like this and then end up having to get it real dark. So start light and then we'll go in and we will do a couple passes over it. Okay, so get the outline of it and follow the contour of the things that you're making its way across. Keep it light. Okay, now I'm going to come in and add an even tone across all of that. Okay, I'm going to come back in again. Go much darker now. All right, and take your time when you're doing this. I'll give you plenty of time. And make sure your lines are really crisp, real sharp. Like these little 2x4s or whatever hanging from the roof. You really want to get those nice and sharp so you could see them. They're a very interesting detail. Try to make that even. Don't go super dark, but because you're going to go back in here and start working out some of the different values. Like, look at the window. If you could stop just 1 second and see what I'm doing. Like, I'm going into this shadowed area, and those windows are darker. You see that? Darker than the side of the house. So I definitely want to I wanted to make that change in value within the shadow itself. Okay, I'm going to come in here now and add some value to these screens. Okay, the last thing I want to do before our time is up here. Now, I'm just kind of working, I'm just going over my whole drawing here and just saying, okay, this could use a little bit of value here. But what I want to do is hit these buildings in the back here. So all I want to do is just add an even value for these buildings going across. So the only thing that's going to be white, mainly white, is the white of the page, okay? Is the sky, is what I meant to say. So if you want to add some type of windows to the buildings in the background, just make the change in value up there subtle, because you want to take into account that this is like in the background and we're dealing with atmospheric perspective. So we want to draw these buildings much lighter in value. What is atmospheric perspective? Well, that's the these buildings in the background. There's a lot of atmosphere or water droplets in the sky that are between the viewer and these buildings. So naturally, that creates very light values. The contrast is coming up on objects that are closer. Now, look at I do want to point out one thing to you here. I want to show you this. I have elected, let me go green there. See this building right here? I have elected not to put that in, because to me that says there's too much contrast there, and that's what's not interesting to me. I want to drive the view to the storefront here, and if I put that building in, it's going to create too much contrast, and so your eye is going to want to look more at that than the storefront. So that's a decision that I've made on my own. All right, AJ. Sounds good, buddy. Okay, I think that's going to call it a day here. AJ, thanks for checking in. And let's get, maybe, is there any more little subtle details here I can add? Oh, I know what. We were going to add some of these wires here. So let's finalize that, because I think those are interesting. So I'm just going to put like a little bump out here on the side of my building, and here we go. I'm just going to add some wires here, and when I'm adding my wires, I'm pushing down and pulling up, okay? Oh yeah, look at this one. This one's going across there. That's great looking. Okay. It looks like we've got a bunch hanging down here. Some coming in over here. Oh, and then how did I even... Wow, look at that. You know what? It's so funny. You could draw something and completely. You know what? We could look at something all day long and it's crazy. You just pick up something. Look at this. I got to show you something I only just saw at the end of this. I thought that coat was hanging on the top of that door, but no, it's hanging on this bar that's coming across. You see that? I didn't even see that. That even, you know what that is? That's a piece of bamboo. Ay caramba, how did I miss that? So let's see. I'm going to put that in. I kind of like that. And I'm just going to come in here. Oh, where are we going there? All right, bamboo coming in. I really like that. So I'm just going to come in here like this. There's that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of tone on top. All right, there it is. Yes, I completely missed that. Okay, there you go. I think I am done with this, the guy. Maybe just add some more tone to this wall up front here. All right, that's it. I'm not going to monkey with this anymore. Hey, everyone, thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe. Hit that bell. I do appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. John and Chris and AJ jumping in there. Give me a couple comments. Please, down in the comment section below the video, also add something down there as well, just not the chat. I love both. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. All right? Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks, Chris.